Red Brick Media. High quality CDs, DVDs, lectures, khutbah, conferences and Quran recitations. All revenue generated supports our dawah work, supported by visiting our store. You can now purchase directly from our site www.redbrickmedia.co.uk.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الأمين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, and welcome to episode 2 of Gems from the Seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Like we said before, the Seerah of the Prophet sallam, you contemplate it and you can come up with more wisdoms and you can appreciate the intelligence of the Prophet sallam more. All you have to do is stop. The stories that you've heard many times before, stop and ask yourself, why? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Today we're taking one of the most famous stories and incidences that everyone knows, even children know, the incident in the cave, Ghar Hira, with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in this cave and he was there and he would spend a long time there. So long that sometimes Khadija radiallahu anha, she would send him food with the servants. And just from her intelligence, she would tell them to leave the food at the mouth of the cave. Because the Prophet ﷺ left this city to be alone, yeah? So if the servant comes in and brings the food and says, I brought you this and I brought you that, and let me tell you the news, and so-and-so's donkey gave birth, and this happened, and that person got married, that defeats the purpose. Why do I leave town to come and hear the same gossip here? So she gave him instructions to leave food at the mouth of the cave and just leave. And most scholars believe that when Jibreel alayhi salam came to the Prophet ﷺ, it was on the night of the 27th of Ramadan. So at least at this point you can imagine for 27 days the Prophet ﷺ is alone in this quiet cave. And cities before, there weren't like noisy cities now with trucks and electrical equipment that made noise. It was very quiet. You can imagine how quiet it was for 27 days. The Prophet ﷺ never heard anyone climbing up the cave, because like on a hillock. So he didn't hear rocks falling, he didn't hear anyone coming up. It's very quiet. And suddenly, after being alone for 27 days, he hears a man inside the cave saying to him, read or recite. Now, just think about this. What would your reaction be? Obviously, you're startled. I mean, you're severely scared at this point. But when you're scared, what happens? Sometimes you get aggressive. You go into defense mode. And so when someone tells you, read or recite in that atmosphere that we just described, your first thing is to say, who are you? How long have you been there? How did you get up here? What do you want from me? You have 1,001 questions yourself before you answer his question, true or false. But the Prophet ﷺ is incredible. He doesn't ask him any questions. And he asks him, what should I recite? What would you like me to recite? What does that show you? It shows you the incredible level, the high level of the great manners of the Prophet ﷺ. I would have grabbed the guy and who are you and how long have you been here and why are you spying on me? But incredible manners from the Prophet ﷺ. He answered his question. He's responding to his requests. So what would you like me to recite? What would you like me to read? The interesting thing is, until Jibreel left, the Prophet ﷺ never once told him, who are you? What's your deal? How did you get up here? How long were you standing here? Not even until he left. That's incredible good manners from the side of the Prophet ﷺ. Another interesting thing very quickly. Why is it that Jibreel alayhi salam, when he, sometimes in books they tell you he embraced the Prophet ﷺ, sometimes you hear he hugged the Prophet ﷺ. No, he squeezed him so hard. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, حتى بلغ من الجهد, it not almost killed me, but it was really bad. He squeezed him really hard. So that's an interesting question. Why did he have to squeeze him so hard? Why didn't he just, give him a quick hug or, So perhaps some of the wisdoms is that so the Prophet ﷺ would not mistake this incident for being a dream or being anything else. Because you can imagine being in a cave for 27 nights, and sometimes you fall asleep, sometimes you wake up, sometimes you have a dream, sometimes whatever, you think you heard something. So to make no mistake about it. Just like when, today, like we say, pinch me, so, am I dreaming? Pinch me. So when it's such a strong embrace, there's no doubt later on that was that a dream or was that real or anything like that. These are some of the few contemplations on the seerah. Keep contemplating. Thank you for your attentive listening. Sallallahu mubarak ala Muhammad. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم